Welcome to Guatemala City, a bustling modern metropolis built upon centuries of ancient history. Beneath its streets lies Kaminaljuyú, an influential Mayan city you've likely never heard of. In today's video, I'm uncovering the remnants of this ancient city, exploring its pyramids, tombs, and ceremonial spaces, as well as diving into the treasures housed at the Miraflores Museum. So grab your walking shoes and your curiosity. It's time to explore the Hill of the Dead and the incredible legacy it left behind.
Today I am visiting Kaminaljuyú, which is an ancient Mayan city. Guatemala City is literally built on top of it. The word Kaminaljuyú is Mayan and it means city of the dead or hill of the dead. One of those, something having to do with the dead. And it flourished between 1500 BCE and 1200 CE.
First, I'm going to walk to the mirador to get an overview of the site. Kaminaljuyú was one of the earliest and most significant Mayan cities. Despite its importance, I admit I hadn't heard of it until arriving in Guatemala City, overshadowed as it is by the grandeur of Tikal. Although the site had been largely abandoned centuries before, the construction of Guatemala City by the Spanish in 1776 marked the beginning of Kaminaljuyú's physical destruction. Much of its unearthed remnants are scattered throughout and beneath the modern city, inaccessible due to urban development. The site's significance lies not only in its architecture, but in the vast archaeological material recovered here. Spanning roughly 2 square miles, this site originally had over 200 mounds, but only 33 remain today. Pyramids, platforms, mounds, and tombs offer a fascinating glimpse into its past. For those unable to travel the long distance to Tikal, Kaminaljuyú offers a more accessible introduction to Mayan history. However, it's important to note that it does not have the same level of preservation or grandeur as Tikal. The structures here were constructed using mud brick, clay, and volcanic stone, materials that are far less durable than the limestone at Tikal. As a result, much of the original architecture has eroded over time, leaving fewer visible remnants compared to the towering temples and monumental structures of Tikal. The main structures are Mound A, which is the Acropolis, and Mound B, which is the Palangana, as well as ceremonial areas. There's also a small museum with artifacts. Visitors are assigned a guide who unlocks access to various parts of the site, so there will be no breaking away today. My guide, Byron, was kind enough to never leave my side. Mound A, the Acropolis, is arranged around a plaza, flanked by a U-shaped platform and pyramid temples. In creating the mounds, large quantities of fill were used to level the surface, often covering older structures. This type of construction was typical of the area. Directly across from the plaza is a singular temple structure. Mound A is a central area that featured red-painted structures and served as an acropolis with tombs containing jade, shells, and obsidian offerings, indicating royal burials. Kaminaljuyú is notable for having 12 ball courts. One of these courts is located within the Acropolis. The Mayans played a game called Pakatak in a large stone court with space for an audience. There would be 2 opposing teams with at least 2 people on each team. The goal was to get a rubber ball through a vertical stone hoop mounted on the side walls of the court. That sounds simple enough. The film El Dorado illustrates how simple it wasn't, unless you cheat, like the main characters in the film. Imagine soccer without using your feet or your head. Imagine basketball without using your hands. Now, combine them. Players could only use knees, hips, and elbows. This was an incredibly challenging sport. The unusually high number of ball courts has led some researchers to theorize that Pakatak was used here as a means to resolve disputes. Instead of resorting to violence, opposing parties might have settled their disagreements through gameplay, where the winner's outcome determined who was right. This unique approach underscores the societal importance of the ball game as both a sport and a tool for conflict resolution. We've departed the Acropolis and are walking toward the Palangana. Byron is speaking in Spanish.
Plaza Mercado. Mercado Central.
Mercado Central. Para Kaminaljuyú?
Sí, Mercado Central de Mayan.
De Mayan.
Los mayas negociaban sus productos y hacían trueques, cambios. Trueques es cambio. Yo le doy este por ese. Trueques.
I don't know. No
Cambio.
sé.
Cambio.
Stele 26 is located on the path to the Palangana. Some of the earliest known carved stela in the Mayan world were produced here at Kaminaljuyú. The area is securely locked, preventing closer access, an understandable precaution given the city's context. Unfortunately, the descriptive plaque is in Spanish and positioned too far away to read clearly. Mound B, also known as the Palangana, consists of 2 rectangular plazas, an upper and a lower level. Its architectural style closely resembles the Tulud Tablero design of Teotihuacan, a major ancient city located near modern-day Mexico City. While I couldn't fully understand everything my guide Byron explained in Spanish, he mentioned that the Palangana may have also functioned as a market where goods were exchanged. Archaeological findings in Mound B reveal 2 tombs with a distinct burial pattern. The deceased were placed in a seated position rather than laid flat. This burial style, along with the Tulud Tablero architectural influence, mirrors features seen in Teotihuacan. These similarities highlight a strong connection between Kaminaljuyú and Teotihuacan, suggesting cultural exchange, trade relations, and even intermarriage between the royal families of the two centers. This relationship underscores Kaminaljuyú's importance as a hub within a vast Mesoamerican network. Many places and businesses bear the name Miraflores in Guatemala City, but its origin traces back to a lake that dried up centuries ago. This lake was a crucial water source for Kaminaljuyú, sustaining the city's population and agriculture. To manage this vital resource, the inhabitants of Kaminaljuyú developed an ingenious irrigation system, including canals, reservoirs, and dams. The centerpiece of this system was the Snake Mound, a remarkable raised channel stretching 3 miles. This was the largest water management structure built by the Mayans, surpassing even the engineering feats of Tikal. The sophistication of this network highlights Kaminaljuyú as an extraordinary example of Mayan ingenuity. Kaminaljuyú is a sacred locale where rituals are practiced to communicate with the Lord of creation. Here, ceremonies of thanks, petition, and commemoration of special days in the Mayan calendar take place. There are several altars near the ceiba tree because it is the national tree of Guatemala and sacred to the Mayan people.
I also stumbled upon a Mayan ceremony, so I don't want to be rude, but I also can't really get over my excitement. So the ceiba tree was sacred to the Mayans. It was the tree of life, and it allowed this world to touch the world above as well as the world below. It represents 3 planes of existence. The branches reach the heavens, obviously this part. The trunk is on our plane of existence, and then the roots reach the underworld.
Kaminaljuyú features a small museum displaying artifacts that provide insights into its history and culture. Situated at a strategic location in Guatemala City, it served as a central hub for trade networks connecting the Pacific Coast, Highlands, and Lowlands. This advantageous position allowed Kaminaljuyú to control key trade routes and maintain long-distance relationships with regions like central Mexico. Not all artifacts in the museum were produced locally, as the people of Kaminaljuyú engaged in trade and possibly intermarriage with cultures such as Teotihuacan and the Olmecs of Mexico. Their influence extended widely and lasted over 1,000 years. The site is notable for its well-crafted ceramics and the presence of large deposits of obsidian nearby, which played a critical role in trade and daily life. Sculptures and carvings provide a glimpse into the political hierarchy, revealing the leaders and deities that held importance in their society. Together, these elements depict a deeply religious and socially stratified community, encompassing both the wealthy and the poor, united by shared beliefs and cultural practices.
I am on my way out of Kaminaljuyú. It is a beautiful site, particularly at 50 quetzales per person, very reasonable price. There are a lot of structures here that have not necessarily stood the test of time just due to being made out of mud brick, but they're still lovely. And I've been informed by one of the guides that there's actually more artifacts at the Miraflores Museum, so now I'm headed that way.
Fortunately, the museum is conveniently located only a few minutes away from the site. From the outside, the Miraflores Museum might resemble a children's museum, complete with a dedicated area for kids. However, do not be deceived. This museum offers a rich experience for adults as well. It seeks to serve as the cultural bridge between the ancient Mayan city of Kaminaljuyú and the modern Guatemala Valley, connecting past and present in a meaningful way. The Miraflores Museum delves deeply into the history of Kaminaljuyú, the most successful and prosperous Mayan metropolis in the Guatemala Central Valley. Through its extensive collection of artifacts and archaeological discoveries, the museum preserves and showcases the city's remarkable legacy. The collection includes ceramics, jade, intricate sculptures, and funerary offerings unearthed at Kaminaljuyú, giving visitors insight into its role as a major trade and cultural hub. Some of the original archaeological pieces on display date back more than 3,000 years, highlighting the history of Guatemala City's earliest inhabitants. A recent renovation has expanded the exhibit space, offering new ways to explore the mysteries of the ancient Mayans and the achievements of Kaminaljuyú's residents. The museum's exhibits span over 2 millennia of history, featuring large-format stone sculptures alongside delicately crafted objects made from ceramics, stone, shell, bone, obsidian, and wood. These invaluable artifacts offer a glimpse into Mayan society, piecing together a vivid picture of their culture, religion, and daily life. Participatory experiences and innovative displays make the Miraflores Museum a standout destination for exploring Guatemala's ancient past. Be sure not to miss the basement of the museum, home to an impressive red pyramid structure reminiscent of Kaminaljuyú's architecture. There's also a hauntingly atmospheric hallway leading to a burial site, where visitors can view the skeletons of ancient individuals, adding to the solemnity and reverence of the experience. Out of respect for the deceased, I chose not to film in this area. Everyone says to only visit Kaminaljuyú if you don't have time for Tikal, but I disagree. Kaminaljuyú was a thriving, complex, and cosmopolitan metropolis whose influence extended far into Mexico and beyond. It holds invaluable lessons about the ingenuity and interconnectedness of ancient Mesoamerica. Comparing it to Tikal diminishes its unique identity. Kaminaljuyú was magnificent in its own right. Stay curious, be inspired, find freedom, wander elsewhere. I'll see you in the next one. Would you visit Kaminaljuyú? Comment below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and hit subscribe for more content like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments or share your response to the prompt below.